So this was a fly first shown to me by Tim Lepan and later in a little bit more detail by Gabe Buerta, Whiskey in My Waders, um, on the Orange River. It seems to work very, very well in white for some reason. The action of it is incredible, as it typically is with jig flies. An added advantage is that you are not getting stuck on the rocks nearly as much as you might with a standard like mace haunt or something like that, simply because it's riding hook point up. Other thing is, it dives in a very nice manner. It dives sort of 45 degrees down like that, so it's even natural when it's sinking. Because it's riding hook point up, and so your hook is not hitting rocks, it's not getting blunt, you also don't really need to tie in weed guards. So yeah, just a fantastic all-round fly. You can fish it slowly, fast, swing it in the fast water, doesn't matter. It's been an absolute winner the last 2 seasons. Right, so I'm going to start off here with an Arix size 2 saltwater jig hook. You can do it in size 4 or even size 6 if you're targeting large smallmouth yellows. I'm going to then add some either 5 or 6 mil dumbbell eyes. These are just really basic dumbbells. You can go with brightly colored ones if you like, ones with stick-on eyes already on. And I'm going to tie these down very firmly. I'm using nano silk in this case, just so that I can put a lot of pressure on everything I do. This fly needs to be durable. It's going to get smashed against rocks on people's back casts, that kind of thing. So this is one of the few times when I like nano silk. When tying in dumbbell eyes, make sure that your figure 8 wraps are going underneath the dumbbells rather than over the top. And then do an occasional wrap around one side and then around the hook shank. This should secure it quite nicely. I like to add a little bit of super glue here at this point as well. In this case I'm using Glue Devil's Glue Genius super glue, mostly because I've run out of Q-Bond. I like to use Q-Bond for the dumbbell eyes because it's very thin and it soaks right through the thread all the way down to the hook shank. And I'll do a few more wraps once I've put some super glue on here. Right, with the eyes secured nicely, I'm going to wrap to the back. First thing I'm going to do is tie in the zonker tail. Now I like to clip the skin of the zonker to a little point, just helps to taper it a little bit better. So you can see there, hopefully. Now you need to remember that this is a jig hook, so you're going to be tying your zonker upside down. You want your tail to be fairly long. Measure it, cut to length, and now tie this in with the skin facing up. I'm going to take my UV crystal flash and just going to do 4 strands of that tied on top of the skin. You want these strands to end sort of just short of the end of the tail. Next thing I'm going to do is take some white craft fur and make a little bit of a brush with it. You don't need too much here. You can use a Petit tool or just a bulldog clip like what I do. Spreading it out in the bulldog clip here a little bit. Going to split the thread. This is the reason I won't go thinner than 6/0 nanosilk for this. 3/0 is actually better. A thicker thread is great for split threading. Now I'm going to spin my bobbin. You're going to want to spin this down quite tight. That's another reason to use nanosilk. It's a little bit more forgiving, takes a bit longer to break when you really spin it tight. You'll see it'll often create like a little tube rather than flaring out nicely. This one's actually been okay. But what I do is I just sort of lightly picket it with a Velcro brush, just to really untangle any knots in this brush. At this point I'm going to start wrapping it forward from the tail, from the base of the tail, and as I'm wrapping I'm brushing it back either with my hands or Velcro brush. I find the Velcro brush works a little bit better. I'm just going to work my way forward one wrap at a time, doing close wraps here. This craft fur is not going to form the bulk of your body. What you're effectively doing here with the craft fur is you're using it to blend different densities of material. So if you start at the back of the fly, that zonka is obviously very soft material. That's going to have a lot of movement in the water. Craft fur is a synthetic material, but it's fairly soft, but it is a bit stiffer than zonka. And then from here you're going to do a brush of sculpting fiber, which is then a bit stiffer. So you are not only tapering the shape of your fly, you are effectively tapering the stiffness and densities of your fibers. And that helps it to have a little bit more of a natural movement. At this point I'm going to maybe help my thread unwrap a bit because I've got to do another split thread now. But otherwise just sort of leave it to unwind itself. Before I try and make my brush with sculpting fiber, I do like to grab the butts of the fibers very tightly and just go through it with some Velcro just to get rid of any tangles. It is an extra step, but it helps in the long run for the stuff not to tangle and to actually flare nicely in the dubbing loop. The next thing I like to do is, rather than making a really bulky brush, I like to keep it a little bit sparser. As soon as it's very bulky, it doesn't spin very nicely, and yeah, it makes your life more difficult. So I'd rather do 2 sparse ones and pack them tightly than one very dense one. It just never works out well. Once again, large bulldog clip in here. I've spread it out nicely in the bulldog clip. You can then, if it's still too dense for you, you can then even spread it further once it's in the thread. And once again we're going to spin this. Going to do exactly the same thing then as with the craft fur. As you're winding it forward, you're just brushing this stuff back. You can add some sort of superfine flash, angel hair or something to your dubbing brushes. I haven't in this case. I don't think it's necessary. I've got a little bit of flash above or below the tail, so I'm not going to add any flash to the body here. Just work this slowly, don't rush. As soon as you rush, you're not going to get nice consistency with the body. Once you've finished your brush, just behind the eyes here, keep everything tight, do 3 or 4 nice hard wraps, bring your thread in front of the eye, wrap a few more times to tie it down. Now I'm just going to add some super glue to the thread. In this case the Glue Devil Glue Genius is actually the perfect glue, and I'm going to wrap that tightly a few times. Give it a couple of seconds under tension, and then cut off that thread. Now you've got the bulk of the fly done. I'm just going to clean up my brush a little bit. Just brush these fibers a little bit, because while this is almost right, it is going to require a little bit of a trim here. Now this is the way it's going to swim. Being a jig hook, it's going to swim upside down. So I'm going to cut the back of it flat. The taper is going to be more on the underneath. Don't need to trim much, just any fibers that are too long really. On the sides you want to taper it down so that the narrowest part is in line with the edge of the eyes, basically. Now you can spend a long time trimming this to make it absolutely perfect if you like, but this profile is just great for me. And this has been one of the most successful flies for the last 2 years on the Orange River, in the section I was on anyway.